I wanted to share with you 10 fundamentals of parenting, things that really you need to figure out how to do. And hopefully I can help with some of that. We'll elaborate a little bit as time permits, and then afterward I want to talk a little bit about the 4 basic skills. So if we could just go through those things, and if you've got your pen and paper handy, you know, you can let it fly here. Maybe we can get it on the site sometime or something. Number 1. The most important thing is you've got to know how to be calm. That is hard.
Especially when you're under stress.
Well, yeah, habits. Well, plus there's that, have you ever had that feeling in the pit of your stomach? It's like, if I hit something, I'll feel so good right now. Like you just feel like you've got to just do something aggressive to get the feeling to go away, because really those endorphins will all of a sudden calm those nerves that you've got in your stomach. Well, there is a way to help yourself be calm. And next week I want to spend some time really talking about calmness.
Fantastic.
And how to do this, because I could go into that right now for a good hour, and I really think I should get through the rest of the list. But I will say that knowing how you get calm is a key to helping your children be self-governed, because what you're doing is governing yourself. You're recognizing what's going on and making a choice, a conscious choice. So, and then you need to know how to teach a child a new skill. That is a hard thing to figure out sometimes. Well, wait a minute, they're not being obedient, so how do I get them to be obedient? Well, I believe in teaching skill sets. When I was at the Utah Youth Village, they were an amazing place to work for as far as foster care went. And they taught me all about skill sets and on how to make skill sets up. And there are 4 basic skills, and I'm just going to throw them in right here because here we are talking about it. So knowing how to teach a skill, there are 4 basic skills that I learned from the Utah Youth Village that encompass like 99% of all behaviors, and those are following instructions, accepting no answers, and accepting criticism, because they're kind of the same. When somebody gives you criticism, it's like, ow, kind of like feels like a no, like somebody didn't approve of something. And then accepting consequences, and then disagreeing appropriately. And I'll tell you what, the kids love disagreeing appropriately, because there are steps to each one of those skills. London LaRae Says Okay is a book all about following instructions. And following instructions is the fundamental skill. If they can't follow instructions from their parents, then they don't respect you. And if you do not have respect, then you can't teach them anything. And your job, your stewardship as a parent, is to teach them, is to help mold them. Well, if they don't respect you enough to even follow an instruction, you're not able to mold them. So then your parenting approach must change at that point.
Right.
And so, and we can talk about that sometime too. There's so many things we could talk about, BJ. I'll tell you.
So true.
Okay, number 3.
I'm excited.
Number 3 is you need to know how to effectively correct a child when he's done something wrong or is in the act of doing something wrong. And we just mentioned how important that is, and how you know at that point they're not following instructions, that they're out of instructional control. Number 4 is how to calm a child when they're not calm. So what do you do? What do you say to someone when they're out of control? You've got to know that. If you're confident in all these 10 things we're talking about, then any situation that arises, no matter how strange or bizarre or unpredictable that it was, you'll be able to handle it. Number 5 is know what skills are essential to make a child or an adult happy. Happiness is the reason that children care about self-government. They need to have a reason why, not just to make you happy. You need to be their advocate. It's about their happiness. And a person is not happy if they are not in control of themselves. If they are out of control, they're not happy. Know what your parenting vision is and how to get it.
Ooh, we really want to talk about that next week.
Let's
That's
talk about that too.
Start off the show.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about that, because that is a beautiful one. Know what your child is thinking and feeling. Now, does that sound strange? How can you know that about a person? You can. You can really seek to understand. There are ways to do that, and it transforms your interactions with your children, and they sense your sincerity. And then number 9, how to communicate effectively. And wow, all of that kind of is wrapped up in there. How do you communicate what needs to happen and what's going on so that they don't get more mad, right? And then the last one, number 10, how to keep the family united in purpose and in feeling. There are 2 things that make for a home where self-government can be taught: tone and structure.
Wow.
You have to have the right kind of tone in your home. And there's lots of vocabulary I use that goes along with that. I talk about it a lot. A whole half of the book is about setting up that tone and structure in the Parenting House United.
Wow, that is so fantastic.
Those really troubled kids, I would often get called to the school because there were things happening. And I'll tell you, there's a beautiful moment when you've got a child having a tantrum at a school, and you go there, and in front of all the administration, everybody that's tried to coddle, cajole, by force, whatever, with this child, and you all of a sudden say, so-and-so, right now you are clenching your fists, you are yelling, you are choosing to be out of instructional control. What you should do is, you should close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, because we want to know what the problem is. And we can't talk about it right now until you choose to be calm. And then you say that, and then they see the child do it. And then they see you tell them how to accept a no answer. And let's practice it. Let's do it with the person you had a problem with right now. Da-da-da-da. And you just do it in front of this whole group of administrators and people, and they're going, whoa, what just happened? And they say to you, how did you learn to do that? And obviously you do have to learn stuff, and that's the kind of stuff I teach. How do you do that? How do you stay calm when somebody else isn't? And how do you help them know how to be calm? And part of that comes from your confidence, your security as a parent, knowing the principles you want to live as a family and the relationship you want to have, and then deliberately doing it. And it takes deliberate action and not caring who's around. And so when you do that, then you're assertive. Instead of pinching, or whispering mean things or whatever, you're being assertive. And you're saying, this is what's happening, and you're describing it. This is what needs to happen, and here's why. And then the child actually can lose all of their anxiety. It goes away because they understand that you're seeing exactly what's happening. You're giving them something to go on.